Hello everyone, welcome back to this channel. In today's video, I'm going to explain how to add custom controls to the SPFx web part property pane. Now let's get into the video. So here you can see this is my web part. When I edit this one, the web part property pane will be opened, right? This description field is the default control present in this property pane, and I added this drop down control which is displaying all the SharePoint list and document libraries present in this SPFX training SharePoint site. So in this current site, whatever the list and libraries are there, it is auto populating. So this is not only a normal drop down control. So I have used this PnPProperty field control. So let me choose any one of company news I have chosen. So here you can see this company news library list is having this title, all the data I'm able to fetching here, and I can able to see the created. So these are the default fields only. Why I have created, because for all the SharePoint list and libraries the columns will be different. So to show the default view for the selected list or library, I created this web part. So in this web part, I'm using PNP React control, which is the list view control. So I can able to display whatever the columns I want to display for the selected list or library. Now we will see how to achieve this one. Before we start implementation, let's first see what are the PNP controls I have used in the property pane and in the web part, and how we can use in this one. So this is list view control, which is the PNP controls only. So here you can see we can able to display the document library view and list view, and we can also group the items based on the status, everything. We can also upload file like this. So to use this control, we have to import this list view, I field view, selection mode, these things from this library of the list view. So after that, this is the list view control. Within this, we have all these properties. So based on our requirements, we can take the properties whatever we want. So the main thing is items. For these items, we have to provide the items, then only. So these items are SharePoint list or library data. Then only the list we will display that data, and then view fields. So here you can see ID, name, path, title. It is there, right? So in this view fields property, we can mention whatever the fields we have to display. For example, in this web part, I also added title, ID, created date, modified date, and who is created by, modified by, all these things, right? So we can define all those things into this one. And for the icon field name, like file reference, this kind of things we can provide. For compact means it should be like a narrow only, not the it won't take wide space. And for the selection mode, if you want to perform some actions, for example here they are selecting, right? After selecting, if there is any command bar buttons, then you can click on for deleting or updating the items. So in those cases we can use this selection mode. And show filter, so whenever we enable this one, we can able to see this kind of filter text box. So let me search for something. You can able to see the name with new, it is displaying over here. So we can also able to filter out and group this group by fields, drag and drop files, all these things. You can get the information in this page. I will also provide this link in the description box below. And next we will see. So what this will be do, we have to pass our current SharePoint context, then it will automatically load the SharePoint list and document library. And we can also allow single selection and multi selection as they have shown here. And to import this one, to use this control, we have to import this statement. So property field list picker control and list picker order by, all these things. Once we import this one, we have to create one interface for this one, because we are going to use that one in the property pane, right? So you no need to worry about this thing. I will explain clearly how we can use this one in our SPFX web part. I just created one SPFX web part. So here you can see for creating the directory, I used this command md space that solution name and cd space to enter into that directory. I provide this command, and to create the solution, I use your space at the rate Microsoft slash SharePoint. So it will create a solution for us, and then it will ask some of the questions related to creating this solution. So what is your solution I provided, and which type of client side component to create. So I took the web part, and what is your web part name. So I provided the web part property pane demo, and the template I am choosing as a React framework. So it is created now. So to use these PNP controls and PNP property pane controls in our SPFx web part, we have to install some commands. So npm install @pnp slash SPFx property hyphen controls hyphen save. So let me run this one. After this, we will also run this command. So in the SPFX web part, we are using list view control, right? So to use that control, we have to install this command. Let it install. So it installed successfully. Now I will paste this one. We use the SPFX controls. Now it runs successfully. Let me type code space dot. So we will see this code in the Visual Studio Code. Before adding custom controls, let's first understand the default code. So in this .ts file, you can see I have imported this property pane text field from this @Microsoft slash sp-property pane. So this is the default code. So where we have used this controls is in the down you can see there is a get property pane configuration method is there. Within this under this group fields we have added the text input controls which we are using for the description purpose. So here we also created one interface. So that text field is we are using for the string, right? So here I have mentioned the data type as a string for this description, and by defaultly when you see the web part there is a, let me reload it, you can able to see the web part name only like property pane demo. So here you can see, right, property pane demo by defaultly it is coming. So where this value is coming is in the manifest.json file. If you see under this pre-configured entries, this properties object is there. Within that, for the description we have provided property pane demo. So that's why only whenever the web part is loaded, by defaultly that text input control is containing this value. So let, in case if you want to add any default values, you can come here in the manifest.json file and you can provide the default values for the. Now we are going to add this property field list picker control, right? So let's copy this import one and I will provide in this here, and then here I have already defined the interface name. We need whatever the list or library we are selecting in that control, we need to pass that ID to the list view picker. So I created one interface named selected list ID to fetch the ID of the selected list or library. So after adding this one, let's come to this get property pane configuration. Here I have given this thing. So after this property pane text field control, provide the comma and provide this code. So here we are adding property field list picker, and here we added the selected list ID, and within this one we have taken all the properties. As I said previously, in this label we can also directly provide the name whatever we want to display. So I have provided select a list or library, and selected list is containing the, for this one we are providing this dot properties dot selected list id, and include hidden I have provided the false. So included list or library won't display in that control. And then order by, so we are for this order by we are taking the title field, based on the title only it will ordered, and the disabled is false. So this control we is not in a disabled mode, it is in enable mode only. That's why we can select an item. So you can keep, you can also delete this property if you don't want. And then for the properties I am taking the this dot properties, and for the on property change selecting the another list or library. So that time to give the current context like that object to this properties, we are providing this into this method. And for the context we are providing the this dot context, and the key to identify this control we are providing list picker field id. So we have created that one. Let me refresh here, we can able to see that list picker control. So I refresh it, you can see select a list or library came. When I click on this one, you can able to see all the list and libraries over here. Now let me come back here. So we have added the list picker control in the property pane. Now we need to pass the selected list ID to the React component. So to do that one, need to create one properties. So in this properties here we have to add that selection one. Let me come here, the selection ID selected list id is there, right? Just provide that one here also, and also we will provide the context, web part context. Now here we will get errors in the .ts file. So whatever the properties we have mentioned in this one, here we are importing those props, and those props we are sending to the react component. So in the render method, whatever the properties we mentioned, that will pass to this .tsx file. So since we have added two properties, we have to provide. So when I click, this is only auto suggesting. Let's take accept that one. So now what happened, for the selected list id property which I created here, for that one we are passing the value this dot properties dot selected list id. So that is coming from here. Whatever the list we selected in this control, that will be passed here, and this selected list id property will contain that id now. And same for the context also, we are passing this dot context. Now let's open this property pane demo.tsx. So here the default code is there, and if we see within this render method, we are fetching all the description is dark theme. So whatever we are providing the properties, all we are fetching here using the this dot prop. So here only we have to include the remaining things. So selected list id and the context also, and we will remove this unnecessary data. So this links section I deleted, and then we have to import this statement to use this list view picker control. So here you can see that import statement. Just copy this one and provide here. Since we are not performing grouping things, I will remove. No need to use those things. Now we have to display the SharePoint list data into this list view picker control, right? So to store the SharePoint list, I am creating one state, that is items. Within these items, we are going to store the list data. After adding this state, we also need to include this in this class. So after the props, just provide that state name, and then by defaultly render method is there, we will add some function like which will fetch the SharePoint list. Before that, let's first initialize this state with an empty value, and to fetch the SharePoint list data, I am using the SPHTTP client, and I have already written the function to fetch the list data. Let me pause here and I will explain how it is working. So this is the function name, custom function name load list items. Within this, first I am checking this dot props dot selected list id. This property is not containing the list id. Then we are updating the item state with an empty array. So that means we haven't selected any list item. So by defaultly that list view picker will be empty only. In case if it is there, then we are generating one URL. So that URL is like this dot props dot context dot page context dot web dot absolute URL. So this will return the absolute URL. So after that absolute URL, we are passing after that absolute URL, we are adding the API. API, we are fetching the web. From that web, for the list, we are passing the GUID. From that, we are fetching the items. After the items, I have added the select parameter. Why? Because modified by, created by are the person fields. So to fetch those people's data, I have added like this. So author slash title, this is like created by, and editor slash title, this will return the modified by the people name, and then we are expanding the author and editor. So these two are the person fields. We have to expand this one, then only we can able to fetch that person email or name, anything. So the URL is ready. Now the API is, we are passing this dot props dot context ASP HTTP client. In this get URL, we passed the URL we constructed now, and the configuration is the v1, and then we are using the .then method. So it will retrieve the response in the SP HTTP response, and then we are converting into JSON. So once that is coming, we are taking that data and converting, and we are providing that data into this items state. So now this load list items method will dynamically fetch the SharePoint list or libraries data and updating into this items array. And I have added the component did mount and component did update React lifecycle methods. So when this method will be triggered whenever the web part is loaded. So That time by default we want to display the data, right? So that's why I'm calling this function over here. And also whenever we are selecting any list or library, that time also we need to fetch that particular data, right? So here in the component did update method, we are checking whether the previous selected list and now whatever we selected both are same or not. If it is not, then again we are calling. So this time we are passing again the property selected list ID. So based on that ID, it will retrieve data. And then I created one array which is containing the view fields. So the fields I have defined title field and then id field created, modified, and author dot title means is nothing but the created by, and editor dot title is nothing but modified by fields. And now within the render method, here we will add our list view control. So here you can see for this list view control, for the items property I have provided this dot state dot items. So this items is containing the list data, so we are passing that one. And for the view fields, this dot view fields, this array I have created, right? Previously I explained. So that one we have given, and the compact we have given true. So this will be coming in a compact mode. And for the selection mode, I gave selection mode dot none. So we are not allowing the users to select any of the items. And show filter I provided true so that we can able to search based on the title. And here selected list ID and context we are not using within the render method, because we are using those two in outside of the render method. So here you can see I am calling this dot props dot selected list ID. So in down no need to add. And also for the context, this dot props dot context, here within this load items only we are using, not within the render. So I just deleted. Let me run this one. I'm already running only. Let's refresh this web part. Okay, now you can see by defaultly the web part is coming like this. So with no, since we haven't selected any list or library in the property pane, so all these fields are empty only. Go to the edit mode and click on this edit. You can see this one. I will provide asset request. So here you can see the data is coming. So this way we can add custom controls in the SPFx web part property pane and dynamically display data based on the selection of the list picker. I hope you like this video. Thank you for watching and don't forget to subscribe our channel.